there are two prime destinations for blue chip, 5-star, can't miss high school prospects to end up within the Big Ten Conference. You've got Ohio State. We know their recent track record of bringing in and developing high-quality quarterbacks. And you have incoming member USC in 2024. And Lincoln Riley's got a pretty good resume of developing quarterbacks and signal callers as well. If I'm a 5-star can't-miss high school prospect at quarterback, am I going to be a member of the Trojans or the Buckeyes?
From LA to Piscataway, all Big Ten all year long. This is Big Ten 10.
Here's the thing about this discussion. You can't go wrong with either one of them. If you are the top quarterback in the country, it's been proven that if you go to Ohio State, you don the scarlet and gray in the horseshoe, or if you lead the Trojans into the Coliseum, no matter where you are, there are a lot of positives to both going and playing quarterback for Ohio State and playing quarterback for USC. The Big Ten Conference has two of the powerhouses, has two of the behemoths in quarterback development. If you want to be a top 5, if you want to be a first overall draft pick at the quarterback position, the Big Ten has two really good options for you coming out of high school. Recent recruiting has proven this to be true as well. So I'm going to get into the discussion. If I'm a top quarterback, if I'm slinging it here at the local high school level at Minnesota and I've got all of the scouts' eyes on me, am I going to go to Ohio State or am I going to go to USC? Because I believe those are the two best options in the Big Ten in terms of quarterback development. Am I going to be a Buckeye or am I going to be a USC Trojan? I'm going to make the case for both. And then I'm going to reveal my selection, kind of do the hat dance a little bit and reveal my hat here at the end of this. So first I want to make a case for the Ohio State Buckeyes, right? Even going back to when Urban Meyer was the head coach at Ohio State, and now you look at what Ryan Day has been able to do. This is a program that has been able to produce high numbers, big numbers at the quarterback position of the Ohio State Buckeyes. Here's the one, before I get into the positives really about Ohio State and making the case for the Buckeyes, there's one little thing. I think you kind of go back throughout the history, really since Urban has taken over as head coach, and then of course that transitioned into Ryan Day. There's no doubt about it. There have been these quarterbacks at Ohio State have put up big time numbers in the Big Ten on the college football side of things. When you transition over to the National Football League, the success, the longevity at the NFL level really hasn't been there. You can go back and you can look at guys, and maybe some of these guys were more fit for the college game and maybe Urban Meyer's offense over the NFL anyway, but you got to go through all of them. You got to look at J.T. Barrett. You got to look at Dwayne Haskins. You got to look at Cardale Jones. You look at the recent ones as well. Justin Fields having a little bit of a harder time maybe catching on in a difficult situation with the Chicago Bears. You look at C.J. Stroud. Of course, the jury's still out. Hasn't played an NFL game, but going into a little bit of a difficult situation with the Houston Texans right now. A good amount of those quarterbacks at Ohio State really haven't found a sticking point for whatever reason in the National Football League. So that's maybe something to keep an eye on, whether you're choosing Ohio State or USC. Okay, let's get into the big time positives for the Scarlet and Gray. When you're a quarterback, you want to throw to the best weapons. You want to hand the ball off to the best people. You want a good supporting cast around you. It makes you look better. It helps you put up better numbers. No one recruits the skill positions, especially wide receiver, better than the Ohio State Buckeyes. Look at what Ohio State has done for me lately. Look at the wide receiver room in Columbus this very year. Like, you've got a very applicable situation where a 5-star quarterback in Kyle McCord comes into Columbus, Ohio, and you have got a smorgasbord of weapons around you, from maybe the best player in college football to Marvin Harrison Jr., Emeka Ibuka, Travion Henderson, and Mayan Williams in the backfield, Cade Stover at tight end, and then you look at guys like a Carnell Tate, a true freshman, Jeremiah Smith, class of 2024. It just keeps going on and on. This is wide receiver U. If you want to play with guys that you're going to see at the next level, if you want to throw to some of the best wide receivers in college football, you come to the Ohio State University. You're going to get better playing with better talent on the football field. The Horseshoe is as electric of an atmosphere as there is in the Big Ten, as there is in college football. The Big Ten has some fantastic atmospheres, has some electric atmospheres. Playing in front of the 100,000 plus that don the scarlet and gray every Saturday, being in that atmosphere, being in an atmosphere like Ohio State, kind of gets you juiced up a little bit, kind of gets you the extra motivation to go out there and really play the game at a high level. I can only imagine in this fantasy world, in this make-believe land where I have 1/100th of the arm talent of someone like Kyle McCord playing in front of the Ohio State faithful and having 100,000 people backing you. I think that stadium and that atmosphere is so iconic at Ohio State, and that would definitely draw me to a place like Ohio State. So that's Ohio State. Now let's transition to the sunny beaches of Southern California. Let's make the case for USC. Lincoln Riley's track record right now is the stuff of legend, right? You look at Kyler Murray won a Heisman Trophy. Baker Mayfield won a Heisman Trophy. And then you look at Jalen Hurts, just led his team to the Super Bowl this year and got a gigantic contract. And then you look at Caleb Williams, right, going from Oklahoma, right, first under Lincoln Riley, where he was recruited by Lincoln Riley as a member of the Sooners, and then transferred to USC when Lincoln Riley made the switch to USC. And, there's another Heisman Trophy winner. You want to be a quarterback that can win a Heisman Trophy, that can be a first overall draft pick, that can make a lot of money? You go into Lincoln Riley's system because it has proven to be the system for quarterbacks as of late. This is the place where you want to be. This is the coaching staff that you want to be coached by. You can say about any other position group, you can talk what you want about Alex Grinch and defense, you can talk about anything else in the field. It is undisputed what Lincoln Riley has been able to do with quarterbacks at this level, and he's turning them into some pretty good NFL or potentially good NFL players as well. Baker Mayfield at the NFL level, you can say what you want, he's still going to be a starting quarterback, it looks like, in Tampa Bay. Jalen Hurts is a franchise quarterback right now in Philadelphia, and Kyler Murray is still leading the show in Arizona. He's proven that he can take kids at the college level, win them Heisman trophies, and get paid some really big money at the NFL level. And let's just call it for what it is. Who doesn't want to spend their college years in Los Angeles, California? Look, I'm a Midwest guy. Born and raised in Wisconsin, living in Minnesota, spent some time in North Dakota. I am Midwest through and through, blue collar, bring your lunch pail to work kind of guy. But spending 4 years and having the opportunities that Los Angeles brings, you couple that with playing in the Big Ten in a school in Los Angeles and having the television exposure, and just having the Los Angeles media exposure, that's going to be something that's going to prepare you for the pressures of playing in the National Football League. And you got to think that there are going to be a little bit more, maybe NIL opportunities as well at a place like USC. Not saying that there aren't some at Ohio State. There's definitely some opportunities there at Ohio State. But having that spotlight, being in Hollywood, being in that type of pro sports market, I think is very attractive for a top quarterback, a top blue chip type of quarterback in college football. So who's it going to be? Am I going to USC or am I going to Ohio State? Personally, I think it's USC. I think it's USC. Lincoln Riley's track record is something that speaks for itself. I think right now, if I'm a quarterback anywhere, I'm going to USC. I'm playing in Lincoln Riley's system. Ohio State is really, really good. They are one of the top places to go to for high school blue chip 5-star quarterback talent. But it is so hard to deny right now the latest track record that Lincoln Riley has been able to produce and that USC has been able to produce. And they're bringing in some pretty big talent. Remember what Lincoln Riley was inheriting at USC. Transfer portal has proven that he can bring in a lot of these skill players as well. Recruiting has been able to prove that as well. And he's improving the team as a whole. It's going to be a national championship potentially contender if you continue to get the right players at the quarterback position. I'm going to be spending my college years on the sunny beaches of Southern California.
Thanks for watching Big Ten TED, where it's all Big Ten all year long. Make sure to like the video to spread the word of Big Ten TED to the masses, and subscribe to the channel for updates on Big Ten content that drops every day.